Okay, let's jump right into all these other topics here, Josh. The whole country for the last 3 days now has been talking about this shooting that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. As you now follow the case, what are your kind of original thoughts? As, first there was a few charges. Now it looks like there are way more serious charges coming. But the guy was caught.
Yeah. Luckily, you're right. And the location of the attempted assassination certainly has historical significance because that was the same hotel that President Ronald Reagan was almost assassinated at almost 40 years ago. Yep. So in the case right now, they have just 3 charges. But that's because the U.S. Attorney's Office needed to put some charges on the books in order to get him arraigned by Monday. When you arrest somebody in federal court, generally you have 48 hours to charge them and have them see a judge. If not, you have to release them. But I do definitely expect additional charges to come, including, one of the Secret Service officers was shot in the chest and survived, obviously. He was wearing a bulletproof vest that worked, and I'm sure that there's going to be a charge surrounding that. Also, everybody in the ballroom is potentially a victim.
That was going to be my next question because, he didn't make it in. He was in the lobby, but technically, could that have been, that's a lot of other charges that he could potentially face.
Yeah, so in his manifesto, certainly you have potential targets. He basically names the entire cabinet, except for Kash Patel. It's weird how Kash Patel was precluded from his memorandum.
What was that all about?
I don't know. It's hard to get in the mind of somebody who is in that state of mind, so to speak. Right. But those are all potential charges as well, because everybody that was on his list was also at that gathering. And it's unusual that you have, the president and the vice president together at the same time for security purposes. Mm-hmm. And you did see in the video that the Secret Service took JD Vance one way and then President Trump the other way. And that's to keep them separate, just in case there's a secondary device and you don't want them both to get injured or killed in the same action.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll follow that one for sure, but let's jump right into the next one, which is now been directly linked. The president is saying, look, this is a perfect reason why we need a ballroom at the White House. There's not a facility close to the White House. I got to get in the limo and go to a hotel in D.C. And then, apparently there are all these security measures that are going to go into the basement beneath. So, Josh, who is this group that is suing to stop it, and why are they doing it?
It's a conservation group, and they're suing the White House because the basis for their objection is that it's not aesthetically pleasing. So when you walk by, they think that it's ugly, so to speak. That's the foundation for the entire lawsuit. Now, it does bring up some interesting principles, though. So Congress has the sole authority to build on federal land, any kind of buildings, stuff like that. The president was delegated the authority by Congress, though, to do renovations, specifically for improving security. So the Trump administration is saying that that's what this is now, that this is no longer just a building, it's a renovation to give a secure audience that would be a ballroom for people to go to safely. The Justice Department has asked that this conservation group voluntarily dismiss their lawsuit, which they came out yesterday and said they're not going to do. So, this is still going to be litigated. And the district court judge who is on the case is a George Bush appointee, and he used certainly some colorful language in denying the White House's motion to dismiss the case. He did something I've never seen before in a judicial opinion that he used an exclamation point, saying that President Trump is a steward of the White House and not the owner of it, exclamation point. And that's not something I've ever seen in a judicial opinion before. That type of
maybe
grammatical use.
Yeah,
sure.
Getting emotional.
Dramatic punctuation.
Sure.
What's the difference between this? I mean, obviously I know the White House, but also the renovations taking place was the Federal Reserve building. Is that right?
Yeah.
So Jerome Powell, I mean, they billions of dollars, I believe, went into renovating the Federal Reserve building. What's the difference between that, or could the defense potentially use that in their argument?
So what the conservation group is saying is that the demolition of the entire East Wing is not the same as just renovating or changing the wallpaper, so to speak. So they're saying this goes well beyond what Congress delegated to the executive branch. Now, again, the Trump administration is saying that it's not just we're not redoing the entire building. It is for security purposes that we have to do this. That it is a renovation of the White House. It's something that should have been there. This ballroom. It's been talked about for decades, and that they didn't need to go through all this regulation in order to do it.
And it's mostly like the First Lady's offices, I believe, right? And some other offices. The West Wing is where you have like the Oval Office and a lot of the other things that may be a little bit more historical.
Exactly. And it was something that was, the East Wing was added, I believe, in the last 50 or 60 years, I think right before or after World War II. So it doesn't have the historic significance as the West Wing and certainly the front part of the White House does. And, who doesn't want to see a ballroom?
Yeah. Can you imagine a ballroom built by the Trumps, Melania?
Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, during
It'd have
Christmas.
some nice touches.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so coming up next with Josh, we're going to talk about this story that everybody in the Valley, I think, is talking about. State Supreme Court weighed in on how much trouble can you get in when you're talking behind somebody's back.
Yeah, this is actually pretty serious. You got to watch out for this.
Okay, so Josh is going to tell us all about that. Here is a preview for you of the Mystery Cam coming up in another 15 minutes. We'll be right back.